Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. It's a chit chat Wednesday. Every Wednesday we chit chat with a friend, a comedian, a titan of industry. Today, all three of those things: friend, comedian, titan of industry. Mike Cannon, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me, man.
Chit Chat Wednesday. We are daily on the JTrain podcast. I'm just shooting content all over the audience's face on a daily basis.
Just a buckshot of conversations. That's beautiful.
You have a special coming out. It's out. When is it out?
This Sunday. So September 15th. It's on Chris DiStefano's YouTube channel. He produced it, put it together, and is giving me the platform to put it on his channel. So I'm pumped.
So you put it on Chrissy D's channel. And what's the play? Like if you're to be as honest, if someone came to you and was like, why the hell would you put it on someone else's YouTube channel who goes by Chrissy D? Like you're putting it on.
That's right.
Like basically one standard deviation away from an Italian mobster YouTube channel. What and listen, like these chit chats are meant to be like what I would ask you at the airport when I saw you an hour ago.
Yeah.
You know. Welcome to the new JTrain podcast. And it's out right now. This is coming out on Wednesday. If you're watching,
beautiful.
The link in this bio will have, it's called Traumatized Animal. You're going to love it. Mike is hilarious. So what, if someone was like, what's the business play? Because I'm interested.
Yeah.
We love Chris. He's hilarious too. But but we want to know why are you his cuck?
So I am holding on tight to his coattails, dude. Yeah. My fingernails are popping off. But basically the play is that I haven't had a big platform. I've only put it on my own YouTube up until this point, which is limited in its reach. Each of my specials have done pretty well, but have kind of like hit a ceiling in terms of how far they get out there. So Chris offered where he's like, hey, I have all these subscribers. You've been on my podcast a ton. I've been the co-host of his podcast for about a year now. So, you know, the fan base is very familiar with me. And he's basically just like, hey, man, anything I can do to give you, you know, any type of visibility, any type of chance that this gets into, you know, more people's hands. And that's a good thing.
It's all about eyeballs. And it's really like, you know, if you think about it from like, you know, from like what the incentives are, like, wouldn't, you know, this is what gets comedians angry, is like our incentive base is like watch and enjoy. Like that's like the one thing we want more than money or fame. We just want you to like our stuff. And it's like, man, this is like such like, and that's what gets so frustrating, because you're like, I just want more people who are going to laugh. Like, and then you have to like, to make that happen, like it's actually a very like anyone. I don't understand. Like, maybe someone watching this would be like, "No, you guys all sound like narcissistic assholes." But I would think the opposite of like your intentions are pure. I want more people to see it. Of course, like it is backwards. You're like, I hope that turns into money and sustained, you know, ability to like have a career, but like. It starts with the purity of, I just want more eyeballs and laughter. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, that's literally all I'm after. I mean, you know, we know people that have done comedy just so they can become actors or become something else. And all I want to do is stand up. I love doing stand up. It's there seems to be a cap on people who are just good at stand up and who don't have like a crazy audience reach getting work out there on the road. So the opportunities are limited unless you have kind of a rabid following or a devoted following that will go and pay to see you on the road. So all I'm literally trying to do is give away the last 2 years of my life, the last 2 years of work, everything that I've pined over and thought of for 2 years, and just poured over every syllable and word and all this bullshit as if it means anything. And now I'm just giving it to you for free, only to be called like gay and unfunny by people who have never left their basement.
Well, that's the funniest part. That's actually like maybe we're living in hell is like the only way to find. Like I had someone comment. This is like I like we're all the same crazy. I had someone comment something like not funny on like an Instagram post, and I wrote back something along the lines of, you know what the sad part is? The only reason you're seeing it is because someone else loved it as much as you hate it. Like if you think about it, we are, because the only way, you know, the fossil fuel of the internet is two garbage people arguing about the thing you never meant for them to argue about, so that the normals can see it and go, huh, that was pretty funny. I like this guy. Like,
yes. Isn't that funny? Like entertainment used to be the thing that brought people together over the water cooler where they would discuss the things that they like. And now it's like objective to get you to argue with the people you're closest to.
It's crazy. Right. Like if I just say the word boomer instead of dad, oh my God, I can find 30 angry boomers who hate that word. You know, like I actually tested this. I tested this once. I actually did a joke 2 different ways, and one was with like the joke, and then the other was like, hey, boomers, if you guys weren't such idiots, I did it like that way. The boomer idiot one crushed, like twice as many views. Like,
of course.
Right. And it's like, it's a sad state of society.
Truly, but everybody's feeding into it. It's like the people that get mad at Chappelle, like a 4th special in a row talking about trans people. It's like, yeah, because you keep writing about it. You keep giving them free press.
You getting mad at the 4th special about trans people means there will be more. It'll rise in the ranks, so to speak. It is, I mean, it is unbelievable. And this conversation comes up amongst comedians all the time because we're all just looking at each other like, can you believe this?
Right. Yeah, it's, you know, it is a weird thing because the intentions are pure. Of course, there's narcissistic undertones to everything that we do because we are ultimately self-serving people. But my motivation to be self-serving, my motivation to be successful is just so I can pay for my family. I'm not trying to be a Jeff Bezos here. I'm not trying to start, you know, to take over your entire lives. I just want to make you laugh while being, you know, moderately comfortable.
Right. This is like my fitness goals. It started at abs, and then it moved to like it moved to like look good in a t-shirt. Now it's like, can I fall asleep at night without like hugging the toilet because I feel sick? You know, like I've moved on from aspirations of movie billboards to just let me have a yard, you know, like.
Yeah, exactly, dude. That's so funny. The fitness comp is perfect because I'm 39 years old. So the idea of abs is just long gone. It's over.
Gone.
And now I'm like focusing on like, you have like pretty good triceps, like natural, well-defined triceps. You should really you should boost those up, Mike. Keep focusing on those.
Well, I've noticed lately, like I have been getting, and I'm sure you get this too, hair compliments. Because we're both 39. At 39, I've kind of realized our body isn't even as important as our hair at this point.
Right. Yeah. Is that why you've grown so much across your face?
I'm growing it everywhere. Like, you should see my pubes. It's fucking crazy.
You have abandoned lot pubes. Your dick is like a burned out car in the middle.
That's a scary description that you came up with way too quickly. That means you've thought about that. That is a hilarious description.
Yeah.
Now, listen, you mentioned you have a family and you got 2 kids, wife at home. Yeah. You're on the road. What is the thing as like you're on the road, you're away from your family? Because I've had this conversation with other dads where they're like, I'm on the road and like, Is it sleep? Is it eating? What is the thing that you're away from your family and you're like, I will cherish every ounce of this away from my kids and wife? And this is while knowing you love your kids and wife. I know this of you. So you're not a cheater. You're not a, and also you're not a drinker. So
no, not at all.
The fuck are you gonna do?
Dude, I'm mostly just taking in all of the guilt-free scrolling. Like the fact that I can be on my phone all day, every day, and I don't have to look across the room at my wife being like, what are you doing on your phone, buddy?
Right.
Meanwhile, she just looked up from hers for the first time in 20 minutes. So that not having that lifeguard, that's actually just a beautiful thing.
Is the guilt from your wife, is it I actually think a lot of it has to be the unknown of like, I was watching someone, and we had Sarah Tolamash on, and then I watched a video of this woman who was like judged on the internet for her sharing of her children.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of that plight. Like you and I, same age, Sarah's around our age as well. We don't know what to do. We don't know what the effect is. We're kind of like we don't know what the effect is of us being on our phones around our kids, or I'm talking about our kids as if my imaginary kids. I'm saying like
my sons are your sons as well.
I always consider them mine, so good. I'm happy we talked about this. But I'm saying like we don't know what the right answer is. No one knows.
Yeah.
Like, and then people confidently say they know, so it makes you feel bad. What is your policy? And is the guilt from like, I don't know how this will affect them? Or is the guilt because your wife does it less than you being on the phone? Like,
yeah.
Right.
I think in terms of them, I mean, my son doesn't have an iPad yet or anything like that. Like his screen time is purely TV, if and when it comes to it. But like, because I know he's going to need it. He's in kindergarten now, and he actually uses the iPad in school, so that's like a totally separate thing. But I'm more worried about that than I am about like kind of sharing his picture on social media. So I don't do it a lot. I do it sparingly, and it, man. Don't post your kid on social media.
I lost you for a second. Can you repeat what you just said? You don't do it a lot.
Oh yeah, I don't. So I don't post pictures of my kid a lot at all. I'll do it sparingly here and there, but I'll get guilted about it from friends who just don't do it. And I have friends that don't do it, but they do it. They still like want the celebration of them being a parent, but they also want to like kind of publicly shame those who do post, so they'll like hide their kid's face in their armpit like they're fucking Ben Affleck or something like that. And it's like, dude, you're a construction worker with 37 followers. And not to mention, if your big concern is pedophiles, you're still showing 98% of the kid's body. Like that's the best part. No pedophile is going to be like, I got to see the chin before I can really make a decision.
I'm happy you've thought of this in the most healthy way possible. I'm sure this speech goes over well at the kindergarten pickup. Well, it's funny you say that because Sarah came on and she was like, I put like a thing over the face, and I'm like, or she's like, I don't want to show my kid.
She's a public person though, so I get that more than I get my friends who are not even like remotely public people still doing like the an apple emoji over their dumb kid's face.
Right. I guess I don't have a thought either way, but I do think like some things ring douchier than others. Putting a flower over your kid's face, like it's like, who do you think you are? But it's like, then I go, it's to me it's like the mask. Like if someone's wearing a mask in public, my initial animal caveman thing is fucking loser. And then and then if they were like, well, I'm sick and I want to make sure I don't get anyone else sick, I would go, wow, you're just a better person than me. Wow, we went from fucking loser to better person in like half a second.
100%.
So I think this is like the issue with our age group is like we don't know the answer, but we also don't want to be evil and be wrong, and we also want to be better than other people. Like, and you also have like this animalistic tendency. Like, if I don't know, it's just I think like I don't think we're gonna get
our
the
generation
credit as
is the guinea pig.
Right, we're the most. I think our generation is not going to get the credit of like how hard these like you're literally making these moral decisions that haven't been etched in stone yet. Like we knew what was moral and immoral before the phone and the internet. We don't know. Is your kid losing his
every
innocence because you wanted to post a joke about him? Right.
Every subsequent generation is going to be the beneficiary of our mistakes, which like we get called cringe because of what it's a like I don't know if that's my algorithm now, but the like millennials being called old is just being fed to me, and I feel myself getting angrier by the day about it.
Right.
And I'm just like,
go ahead.
Sorry, am I lagging?
No, it's all a little bit off, but I think we'll be able to. I think we're going to get a podcast out of this. I think Chit Chat Wednesday will survive. Well, this is the thing. Like, we're doing this and it'll have a little lag. And then, like, 5 years from now, 2 Gen Z people will be, like, having this really amazing conversation about whether to post their kids on the internet or not. And we're going to go, didn't we have this conversation before?
Yeah.
And then they're making billions off of it. And we're like sitting under a bridge being like, wow, we didn't even, I don't know. I think timing is a lot of life, and our timing seems to suck.
Yeah. No, it feels weird because like, so my feelings about any of this stuff, like posting the emoji over a kid's face or hiding their image, it's all a projection about how I feel about myself, like whether or not I'm making the right decision by even posting my kid. So I'm not speaking about it as like what I'm doing is correct and what they're doing is wrong. How I'm saying it is like, I don't know what I'm doing, and what they're doing it feels like an attack on me.
Right.
So that's how I'm taking all these things.
They're not saying I love chocolate. They're saying fuck Mike Cannon's vanilla. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Before we get back
which
into
was
this,
almost the name of my special.
Fuck Mike Cannon's vanilla. We're sponsored, people. If you're listening or watching MeUndies, Factor, and DraftKings, MeUndies. I'm gonna go through these quick as I do every day, but I just want you guys to know in the description of this episode, you can find Mike Cannon's special, which is called Traumatized Animal. And you can also find the promo codes and the links to all of the sponsors. Be your most comfortable self this fall with MeUndies. 20% off your first order plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/feather. That's MeUndies.com/feather for 20% off plus free shipping. MeUndies, comfort from the outside in. Factor, they're making meals that you can heat up 2 minutes and you're going to have a healthy meal. Okay, here's the deal with staying healthy. You don't know how to make anything. You also don't know how to portion. Factor's going to do both of those things for you. Head to factormeals.com/jtrain50. Use code jtrain50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code jtrain50 at factormeals.com/jtrain50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Now, I want to ask you about my last sponsor. Do you bet on football?
I do on occasion whenever my friends offer to put it in for me.
Put it in for you?
Yeah, even though there's apps and it's easy, there's just I don't know. There's a hassle level that I'm not willing to cross.
Well, okay. Well, listen, I'm going to help Mike Cannon, the businessman, right now because you're missing out on. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code JTrain. That's code JTrain for new customers. Get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Now, so if you put in $5, you get $250 in, play money that could be converted into real money if you use it. So I love to gamble. I put money on every game on Sunday, and then also Saturday I'm like sprinkling a little dusting on a few things that I feel good about. But I had a good first week, and then I decided to go, you know what? This Jets defense looks pretty good to me, and then blew it. So
yeah.
So
Isn't that the way
week.
now you feel like you blew it when they actually blew it?
Right. That's the fun. Well, the fun part is the Jets become your team. Okay. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus premium terms at NFL.com/terms. Okay, Mike Cannon, Traumatized Animal. The special is out. You can watch it right now. What's your favorite joke on the special? Don't
I think
tell
my favorite.
it. Just explain it. We want to get people pumped.
My favorite joke on the special is a story about my older sister getting attacked by a crow when we were kids.
Okay, I love it. Does she like you telling it?
She does, actually. She feels seen now because I think it's like a lot of our childhood memories have been largely swept under the rug by insane parents being like, that seems like, historical editing on your part. So the idea that I actually saw her get victimized by an animal and have now, put it out into the world to affirm her, I think she likes that.
I love that. I'm trying to think of it's funny. These have all been given names now, like core memory. These have been branded now.
Yeah.
So that's like a core memory. I was trying to think of like core memories for me, but like sometimes it takes someone else going, "Do you remember that?" And then you go, "Thank God you remember that." That is something that has stuck with me. Like it is like nice to have that. I'm sure from your sister's perspective. Like I always think there was this I remember I saw like a meme the other day about someone it was in reference to, and it made me feel like not alone. The meme was like, a meme made me feel not alone. I've lost my mind. It was in reference to like someone sneezing and like boogers coming out of their mouth in elementary school, and like you never forgot it about them. And I was like, wow, does everyone have that? One person being embarrassed by a bodily function in elementary school, and it was like the warning for your whole life to not fuck up with your body. Like, and like you can't you can't even tell your kids like, hey, if you snot like it could be your kid, like one kid in the class is gonna sneeze, have the boogers go from his nose to the table, stay there. The whole class is gonna look at him, and everyone will go, "That's the booger guy." Do you fear that for your kid?
It's inevitable, dude. It's part of the thing. Like, it's part of life where it's like, hey, there's going to be some really traumatizing moments that I have absolutely nothing to do with, and I can't stop. Like you just saying that perfectly reminded me of this kid named Lenny in kindergarten. I remember he was eating M&Ms. That's back when kids like brought just pure candy for snacks during kindergarten, and he was eating M&Ms as his nutritious snack, and had a pool of I remember watching him eat it, and he had a pool of like chocolatey saliva lining his entire mouth, and then he sneezed in the face of this kid Trevor that sat right across from him, and just like chocolate Dalmatian speckle like money shot all over this kid's face. And I haven't thought about that in easily 34 years. Like that's crazy that I just thought of it.
It is also crazy that Lenny is out there right now. Like, we're talking about him on a public space from kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like, do you think, like, he, like, if he ever came across this, do you think he would ever be like, what? like that was on your mind? Like,
yeah.
should
Dude,
should the internet just like clear out every 5 years. Like this is one of those things that makes me think like maybe we should have like a clean wipe for the internet. Like every 5 years,
it's like blood cells.
Is that how blood cells work? I don't even know.
Don't you have like brand new blood in your body? Like every cell in your body is 100% new every 7 years.
I that is something I had I mean, I'm going to lean on that when I have like a vodka tonight and I'm like, no, I got new cells from 7 years ago, coming in my system.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, 2032, this will be out of my system officially.
Right. Well, I remember I talked to someone from Twitter. They were like, what can we do to help Twitter? I was like, you can shut the thing down and restart it again. Like, turn off the computer, let people just like literally like evacuate whatever, I'm like, because it gets started in a different place. No one thought of it as what it is now. And let's have a clean slate from right now. And they were like, why would we? They couldn't understand that. I'm like, I think that's like the whole thing with like, let it be new. Let it be current to what today's use of Twitter is, which is like really more like news. Like I go there for like live events, Yeah.
No, I think the only way to like fix it is like it's almost like the end of Cable Guy when he falls on the satellite and then, Kyle Gass picks up a book for the first time. It's like that's the only thing that's going to make people, it's a mindset shift too, because it's like the toxicity online and especially Twitter. It's like, that is now the culture of the site. It's not going to shift the culture of that site unless there's a major shift in just general human interaction. So it's like a solar flare, some whatever, just one of the just something that completely takes it out.
We're praying for a solar flare to change things up. We're lost as a society. We're like, hopefully the sun just spits at us for a second. And the world just like
and then
tips
maybe
back.
People will be nice again.
Right. So you're in Chicago now, and you're gonna scroll without shame.
Yeah.
Are you an eater?
Yeah, I can't wait. I am not really. I mean, I've done this thing where I don't eat past 8 p.m. anymore, which is harder on the road because the day is like so spread out sometimes, and I'll eat early and then nap, and it's all over and then I'll work out, and then I'll, it's just like, so I try to get all my eating in before I get to the shows, because not eating after 8 has kept my weight down. It's kept like just everything feeling a little bit better. And so I'm not like a crazy eater, but that said, I did land today and immediately get like a huge bacon cheeseburger and onion rings, and then have like laid down in moderate pain since then.
Something about Chicago makes you want to eat that way. Like it just like there's something about that town that I'm like, nothing matters here. Like we need to have, like I need to eat like one of the guys in the Da Bears sketch.
Yes, yeah,
100%,
and drink. Like this city during the day is the one city where I'm like, I might start drinking again, and then as soon as the night falls, I'm like, I don't think I'll ever drink. I'll probably never take another sip. Like it's a nice little reminder of how things go off the rails quickly.
Especially in Old Town where the club is. It is like you walk outside and it's a little bit mayhem, and it's like it's also like younger in a way that reminds you like, I'm happy I did it. I'm happy it's done. Like I got into a car immediately. I was at Zany's.
Dude, there were guys.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I got into a car.
I'm
Are we off?
Sorry, I'm lagging.
It's okay. We're good.
Yeah, hold on one sec. Hold on. I think this will be better. Is that better?
You sound pretty good to me. You sounded good. You good?
All right. Yeah, I'm good.
So you saw last night. What did you see in Old Town?
Oh no, the last time I was here, people were there. I sold out a Wednesday. It was like so exciting. I was pumped. It's like the first time I've really moved tickets in any other city, and people are there to see me. And 3 minutes into the host, like 2 or 3 dudes in just blue, like pale blue button down business casual attire threw absolute hands during the host set.
Come on.
So just like, dude, like tables flipping, just full blown fist fight. And I was like, this is fucking Chicago, man. That is an unbelievable.
I have to tell you this story. I have to hear your opinion on this, and we'll end here. But everyone go watch Traumatized Animal. It's on YouTube right now. The link to it is in the bio of this episode. I did shows at the Cellar last night, and the Cellar, like, generally, like, people behave, but, like, I just think behavior is just, like, not good right now, like, in general. Like, I don't think people are really, like, being appropriate.
Totally.
I think also New York, people are getting drunk on, like, a different level. Like, the front row, I'm at the Fat Black Pussycat Lounge. It is a square stage with 4 on the left, 4 on the right, 4 in front of you. On the left, I am about to be brought on stage from the left. So Matt Richards, hilarious comic. He's hosting the show. He goes, okay, clap it up. Your next comic. And as he's like, your next comic, and I'm like walking up to walk in between this 4 and this 4. This guy gets up and decides to walk onto the stage to then walk off the stage to go. He's like, I got to smoke a cigarette. This is in the middle of the intro. So Matt's like, so he's like, the next comic, and he's like, whoa, what's going on? The guy's like, gotta smoke a cigarette. And then he walks by me, and I can't come on the stage. So I'm like, already like, okay, you've ruined the whole flow of this. I get on I get on stage. I'm like 5 minutes in. The guy comes back. He walks across. He comes back across the stage again. He sits down. They've been awful the whole night, so I knew that they were being awful. And he starts like making out with his girlfriend, like they are now. So now I'm just performing next to a full-on tongue kiss that's going on to my left,
and just like a stepdad's breath of a fucking tongue kiss. Like, how if the guy just went outside to rip a butt, and then he's just tonguing down some chick right after.
It is like high school bully level behavior. And so he's making out with her. And I'm cognizant that, like, I've seen the sets before me, and I know that they've been pretty awful. But, like, at that point you go, there's people here who paid for a show. Like, I'm going to do my show for the people watching. They just watched 2 sets of, like, people trying to talk to these animals, and they're not to be talked with. So I literally take my body and put it in front of him. So I perform with my back to him making out, and I'm like doing well. Like, it's like people are laughing at the jokes. They're also kind of laughing that, like, my ass is just like in front of this makeout. Like, you can tell, like, this is like all kind of gelling together to somehow work. And at one point in the set, the guy kind of like taps me on the side, and he's like, I got to get up again. And he gets up to go and smoke another cigarette.
What the fuck, dude?
And it's like 2 cigarettes in the span of a 15-minute set and a makeout. Like, we have lost our minds. And at that point, I looked at all 4 of them, and I go, you guys are just really awful. And I go, I can't tell you how much I want to do a full suplex onto all 4 of you. I want to literally jump into you.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they're looking at me like they can't believe it. They're like, why is he speaking to us like this? And when he, and I'm like, I don't understand how you don't understand. Like, I was like, and it's like, you see this and you're like, when do you leave the house? Who do they think they are classier than? Like, do they even think in those terms? Maybe we don't think the same. Like, the guys who come to a comedy show and get in a fist fight, the guy who gets 2 smoke cigarette breaks and is like tonguing his girlfriend in the front row. I want to follow them all day.
I know. I think that, like, that level of disrespect towards the performer, I feel like that is indicative of, like, scroll culture and how just everything is so easily dismissed. Even like dating and, swiping and all that stuff. Like, everything is just like, whatever, man, you're barely real. I don't give a shit. It's between me and my next fix. All I need is a cigarette. That's what I need. Everybody else can kind of piss off. It's basically like everybody all of a sudden has hot fucking young, like hot 20-year-old girl energy, where they think the world should cater to them, and everybody, like, the idea of no is so foreign to them that it doesn't even cross their mind, and consequences they don't consider it.
You put it perfectly. The scroll culture, get to my next fix. I mean, like, that's how they were. They were like, I'll laugh, because they were like laughing and then back to making out and then to cigarette. Like, it's all just like, get me high. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
Mike Cannon, everyone go follow
That is
Mike.
wild. We're a bunch of junkies.
Yeah, we're just dopamine junkies. At I am Mike Cannon. Go watch his special. The link is in the bio. Thank you, buddy, for coming on. Enjoy Chicago. Have great shows.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, have fun in Indianapolis. Thanks so much.